current beast.
Hopefully it'll be just up, slow up, and a slow down instead of steep, short, terrifying things. Hopefully that's going to be the situation.
You're coming too.
Join us as we grow from a building channel to a sailing channel.
One day we'll be floating in the tropics, and I'll be drinking a margarita.
Our heading is set south, and our home-built boat is getting us there. Can't wait to show you guys. We're Salt and Tar, and this is our life. We're happy to share, and thanks for watching. We arrived in San Quintin, under the weather and before the storm. We knew this was coming, bringing 12-foot seas with it, so we anchored in deeper water and hunkered down for the long day. Happy New Year. It is January 2nd and we finally have some blue sky. The swell has kind of calmed down. There's still some residual big rollers coming in, but it's gotten quite a bit more peaceful. We both still feel very sick, very exhausted, very weak. It's slowly getting better. But I think it's Monday today, and I think next, like in a couple days, on Thursday, it's supposed to get windy and another big swell coming through. But I don't think Garrett or I have the energy to move anchorages yet. And this might be our most protected anchorage anyway, until maybe Turtle Bay, which is a very protected spot, but it's at least another day and a half or so sail away. We really pushed to get here, and I think we're both still really happy that we did. If only we could tell the future, because something bigger was brewing.
I believe this is the calm before the storm. Alright, Garrett's warming up the engine. I just turned on our Starlink so we can get one more weather report before we may move to deeper water, because we've got one heck of a system, actually a series of systems, about to hit this whole coastline all the way up to like Canada.
A giant cyclone.
Yeah, which I had never heard of until what, like 2 days ago, when this system rapidly formed. It's called a bomb cyclone, which no matter what anybody says, just sounds scary. Like cyclone already on its own is pretty scary, and then you put bomb in front of it. Yeah, that is scary. Luckily,
it's way far up north. It's hitting Northern California and Oregon. I mean, all of California, but so fortunately we're not forecasted to have heavy winds down here, but
or rain, so we're sort of lucking out on at least 2 of the 3
but we are
fronts.
Forecasted to have a massive swell,
massive
sweep down through the entire coast.
The largest we saw it forecasted for our location, just off of this point here, was 17.5 feet tall, which is ridiculous.
Others were not so lucky in this series of storms. Our home port of Morro Bay saw 25-foot waves. These cyclones flooded areas, took out piers, lives were lost, and landscapes changed. Garrett's dad's boss and guests at their hotel had to be rescued by boat.
I guess they're bringing a boat from Pismo or something. It's like a rapids. Look at that. I feel bad for this guy's truck.
So we need to get into deeper water. This thing, it's no joke. This is a very, very potentially dangerous situation that we're in, because we didn't have enough time to be able to get the boat to a more protected anchorage. Moving out to 40 feet means we should theoretically ensure safety against any breaking waves with that depth, but moving out to that depth, we're gonna have to move maybe a little bit further outside the zone of protection from the point here. So further out, we may be more affected by the ocean swell than in here, but further out in deeper water, we should be safe from breaking waves. The depth that we're at should still be all right, but it's too close to gamble. So I would rather be a little bit further out. And fortunately, the swells that are forecasted, have a decent
interval.
Yeah, a decent interval. So they're at 15.5 seconds. Hopefully it'll be just up, slow up, and a slow down instead of steep, short, terrifying things. Hopefully that's going to be the situation.
Before it grew into this cyclone and then became a bomb cyclone. That happened within like 20 hours. It happened overnight. It went from, you know, okay, if we are still here, it's gonna be another uncomfortable ride because we had already ridden out one swell here, which we expected and anticipated, and then me getting sick was not expected. So then both of us being ill, we decided to stay, so here we are. All right, here's our wave map. This shows in the middle there about 32.7 feet at 13.7 seconds. We are down here. So here's Turtle Bay, and we're still right up here. Here comes the beginning. We're up to 10.7 feet at 14.8 seconds, and that's 6 p.m. and that's midnight Friday. 16 feet now. Yeah, it's back up. So this shows the biggest height here is 17.2 at 15.5 seconds at 5 a.m. So just before sunrise. So we saw this when it was way over here. Next morning, it was a little further over, and it was starting to look like this, with almost 50-foot waves in the center of it. One right after the other is pretty crazy, and that's as far as we can see. And there's another one. Yeah, I don't ever remember hearing this much cyclone activity. Ever. And I've never heard of a bomb cyclone until 2 days ago. I'm really thankful to have Garrett as my captain. Day before yesterday was a rough day because we had to make the decision within like an hour or two if we were gonna try and run to Turtle Bay or stay. And we ultimately decided to stay because we can keep Starlink on and keep getting updates of weather, and you know, just in case this thing hit earlier, we certainly didn't want to be stuck in it out there and not be able to get into Turtle Bay. I don't know, I think ultimately we probably did make the right call, but we're definitely, after this one rolls over us, we are running. We are running to Turtle Bay. This was our original anchor spot, so we've moved half a mile. It's so weird because right now everything is so beautiful.
It's gonna be our long snubber. Hopefully will give us a big kind of bungee effect as the big swells roll under us.
All 200 and what, 15 feet of chain?
200 feet of 3/8 inch chain down. And then I'm gonna put another however many on the snubber.
You make the best judgment call you can and be prepared for worst case scenario. We had a float ready if we had to leave in a hurry. We could take a knife to the anchor line and bail. By 5 o'clock, the swell started to roll in and stack up.
Yeah, that's a big one. Pizza!
Well, all you can do is try to maintain some sense of normalcy, unless the elements give you a reason that you need to light a fire under your ass and get shit done. Till then, you just have to exist and ride through it. So I made pizza.
Instead of pacing up and down the boat, you made pizza.
Yeah.
He opened up some pasta sauce here, shredded some cheese, and we had some sausage. And there's the second one. And a flour tortilla as the base. Look at that! That looks like a legit pizza! There's the moon. I think it's, what, 6 o'clock now?
Something like that. Peaks at 4 a.m.
Another 6 feet to grow.
I'd say the craziest... God! Is that... The craziest feeling is like when your stomach drops out from under you, like on a roller coaster.
How's it look out here?
I don't know if you want to come out here.
It's scary.
It's gnarly.
How's our position look? As good as any?
Yeah.
It seemed to peak at 2 a.m., and we saw every bit of the 17 plus forecasted waves, maybe even more, as they crumbled around us.
Well, we made it through the night. It is a beautiful morning. I don't think Garrett slept at all. Here's a big one. Red Aviva did amazing. It's pretty crazy in the troughs. There's no wind. And then when we get picked up by a wave, then the wind starts howling. The waves are still pretty massive, pretty hard to capture on camera. But I'm pretty much up now, so I think I'm gonna make some coffee.
The horizon was lumpy, as if great beasts played beneath the surface, like something crawling up the blankets. But the only creature I saw was a playful sea lion body surfing. And the seagull appearing and disappearing behind these liquid walls.
Ooh. Whoa. Just chilling.
I wish I could have captured last night and all its fury better, but the aftermath gives you some idea. The enormity of this event was felt stronger elsewhere, but it's an experience we'll never forget. It was another full day before the height was tolerable enough for us to move on.
Alright, here we are. It is almost 7:30 in the morning. It is Saturday. The waves have flattened and our weather looks pretty nice. Garrett's warming up the engine. We actually have some sun outside. The waves, I think, are down to about 10 feet. It says predict wind.
Turtle Bay is an all-weather anchor. You can see it's got almost 360 degrees of protection.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be really nice. We only have a few days to get there before the next one hits. And I want to be a long ways away from this place. I mean, as long as we're in someplace more sheltered, but
Yes.
I do not want to ride anything else like
Out
that
here again.
out here. That was ridiculous.
You still have your brown pants on.
Yeah. Can't take my brown pants off. Not until we're safely anchored in Turtle Bay, then I can take my brown pants off.
Second cup of coffee, and I think we'll hoist the anchor.
Our misadventure was not over yet.
There's so much strain on the windlass and on the deck. Oh, God. Is that 160 at the Gypsy?
At first, our exhausted brains thought the anchor was really dug in, so we topped off the fuel tank and waited for the swell to die down to break it free. But after a moment of clarity,
We have to be stuck on something. That was so crazy. So we're gonna start up the engine, try and maneuver a little bit. Maybe we can gain some more information. But if nothing else, I think we're gonna have to leave our anchor chain and anchor setup here. Leave a float with it with our contact info. Maybe one day we'll come back or somebody else will pick it up, but we have to leave this bay. It's impossible to know what's down there. A sunken boat, a really big rock, and we're a turn around it or double, triple turned around it. Who knows? Is it going now? Oh my God. Oh my God.
I think it's going. I think we might have come off.
What? Stretching out a little now. What? I'm gonna cry for. Oh.
Nope, we're not off.
Chain's going under the boat now. Do you know what you had up?
That's 160 right there.
we motored around, back and forth, to see if we could unsnag the unknown, but to no avail, and we were running out of options.
So our next step is we're gonna cut it and leave a float with our contact info, and we're gonna make note of our coordinates where we are. If one day we come back to get it, or maybe somebody else anchors here and wants to grab it, or has, you know, dive gear and can dive on it and see what it is. Our window just keeps getting smaller to get to Turtle Bay. It's Saturday and we have until like midday Tuesday to get there, so we're still sitting pretty, but we thought we might wait until tomorrow morning. But all of our talking and our tests here, I don't think we're getting the anchor up. Thankfully, we do have, what, like 200 feet of anchor road?
200 feet of chain, 300 feet of nylon.
So we have 300 feet of nylon road. Maybe we'll be able to keep 40 feet of our chain. And thankfully we have a lot of anchors on board, but this is gonna be where we part ways with our gigantic Bruce. And at least 160 feet of our chain, which is almost all of it.
A friend happens to know an abalone diver in the area and says if anyone can find it, he can. So this might not be the last we see of our 65-pound Bruce.
1, 2, 3. Okay.
I held the fouled chain with a sacrificial line while Garrett attached the float.
Here we go.
Okay.
Well, hope I see you again, Big Bruce. Free.
Thanks for watching. Up next,
This passage it's been pretty good.
we actually get to sail a decent amount of the way to Turtle Bay, a much needed boost in spirit, and Garrett wrangles together our backup anchor gear underway.
We're in the lee of the island now. The sea state is completely flat. The moon is super bright. Oh man, the water has gotten bluer. Maybe a demon's just down there holding it. Alright, I'm sure I look like shit.
Oh, look at that little tiny crab.
It's all just a little bit of a guessing game, I guess. Guessing game, I guess.